Hi everybody, I'm HondaPro Jason, and that is the HondaJet. I'm at Honda Aircraft out in North Carolina, and I'm going to show you guys production of the jet, inside and outside the jet, and even a flight of the jet. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this episode. Hey everybody, I'm at Greensboro, North Carolina, and I was privileged to have the opportunity to see this jet being built, check out the outside, and actually take a flight. So to see it being built was unbelievable. It comes in as a fuselage, and then one of the first things they do is put on the wing. Yeah, that's right, I said the wing, because the two sides that look like two wings are actually one piece that go all the way across. And then they start working on some of the electronics, and they do some of the paint, and it just goes step by step. What's interesting though is that each section brings the plane to their section. So they just move it from one section to the next until final completion. It goes into a paint booth, it comes out and it gets painted in one of their very, very special colors. This one here is yellow behind me. It was really cool to see. The only thing I can really compare it to would be like the NSX plant, but even cooler. It was really, really awesome to actually be there and witness what I saw. So let's check out what it looks like when it's all completed. Come on guys. We're gonna start all the way up here at the nose, and what makes the HondaJet very unique. Does the nose of the HondaJet remind you of something? Well, if it looks like a Ferragamo shoe, you'd be absolutely correct. The designer actually saw a Ferragamo shoe while he was vacationing in Hawaii at a store, and that's what inspired him for the front end. Not only is it the fastest jet in its class, it's also the most fuel efficient, the highest flying, best room inside with some of the best range. It also has plenty of room for luggage. Check this out. Up in the front, you open these up, and just like you'd expect, listen, they really have a really good sound to them. They're very, very structurally fitted, and look at this room inside. And that's only part of the room. There's also more room in the back. As you guys can plainly see, and you probably knew this before, the HondaJet has these turbine jets on top of the wing, not attached to the fuselage like most airplanes. And the reason for that, there's many reasons I guess. It makes it more fuel efficient. It also makes it quieter inside, less vibration, and more room for passengers. In fact, there's 3 more inches of legroom inside than its nearest competitor. That's pretty awesome. They have these wing design, again, making it more fuel efficient, and just like Honda, come here for a second, look at all these. These little tiny little arrows help again with wind and aerodynamics. What's also very interesting about this jet that makes it different is it gets fueled in one spot. Not 2 spots, not 3 spots, even though it has 3 gas tanks. Has 2 main gas tanks and 1 bladder. They all get filled up right here. And then you know how the fuel gets to the tanks? Gravity. I mean, as long as you have gravity, you might as well use it, right? There's more storage right back here. Here's the cool part, watch this. And then inside here, 400 pounds of luggage. And man, I'm gonna say that's gonna fit, I'm gonna say 13 bags. I mean, it's huge inside. And a lot of that is because of these engines where they were. Because if these engines were attached to the fuselage like most of them, you wouldn't have all that room. So that's a quick overview of the outside. But let's check out the inside. This is where the fun really happens. And it's the little things. Come look at this for a second. If women have heels, there's no holes here for them to fall in, and it gives you a really good grip. And when this door is actually up on the other side, check this out, it doubles as a table. It's Honda, they're smart, they think of stuff like this. Let's go inside and see what else we can find. And now we're inside, and I feel very, very relaxed. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passengers and a pilot. And that's important because this is actually single pilot certified, which unlike a lot of the other planes in this class, you need a pilot and a co-pilot. Actually, a single pilot can fly this, which is pretty cool. These seats are extremely comfortable. They move around in a bunch of different directions. So they recline, of course, but in this one lever is going to push you forward and backward, but they also go out to the side. So there's like almost infinite number of, then you just lock it, watch, and it's locked into position. These armrests, they go in, which is really nice. They slide out and go down into position. Let's see if this headrest moves. Of course the headrests move. Tons of cup holders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's 2 up front, so that's 9, 10. I don't think I missed any. So 10 cup holders. 11, there's one in the door when we put the seat down. So there's 11 cup holders. So just like typical Honda, there's more cup holders than there are seats for people. Cables. Very nice. And everything's solid. Everything's finished. Everything says HondaJet, which I absolutely love. There are a couple of options. There's an option that they have for like a cabin control, like on the new Odyssey. It's an app that you can get, and then you can control the lights and the shades and the music and everything back here. Tons of lighting though. There's lighting everywhere, all the way around, up on the top. These windows, when it gets light, they get darker. When it gets darker, they get lighter. How cool is that? And everybody asks about this. Not all airplanes have lavatories or bathrooms. Not only does the HondaJet have a bathroom, but it's a pretty nice bathroom as well. So it's completely, when you lock it, you see down there, when I lock this, these 2 go all the way to down, so it's completely private. And inside, check this out. Inside the lavatory, I don't need to show you the toilet, but I will show you the sink. See if there's some storage under here. Of course, there's storage under there. That's unique. A toilet paper roll is kind of uniquely placed right there so it doesn't take up any other room. There's a skylight up top. And again, when you're in here, it's completely private. All this stuff is cool, but the real cool things happen up front in the cockpit. That's where I am now, and that's why we're about to take a flight where I was told I could actually fly the HondaJet. Me, fly the HondaJet. How awesome is this going to be? Do you start both of these?
Right now we're flying the HondaJet, built by Honda Aircraft. Right now I'll give you a couple quick specs on the aircraft. It goes to flight level 430, which is 43,000 feet. Does 422 knots at flight level 310. The capacity is 7 passengers. There's 1 pilot and 6 passengers. The engines are made by GE and Honda. They produce approximately 2,000 pounds of thrust. Climb out in the airplane is about 4,000 feet at 3,990 feet per minute, and the aircraft duration or stage length is about 1,223 nautical miles. We stay in the air about 3 hours, and really awesome jet built by Honda.
How fast does it climb?
Now let me check. Hold on. Almost 4,000 foot a minute.
Gosh.
Yeah. And I can, you know, if you really push it, you could go a little bit higher than that, but a normal climb out would be a 4,000 foot a minute.
Okay. And what else makes you go just wow?
Basically how well balanced the aircraft is and how well it flies, hand flies. It's very stable. It feels like a 20,000 pound airplane rather than a 10,000 pound airplane. So it doesn't have what I would call a wet noodle feel, where the controls are very easily maneuvered, so I can fly the aircraft at the same time look somewhere where the aircraft, you know, turning. So it's very stable, and I call it a carving aircraft. You know, it carves through the air very nicely.
For people that haven't been in a cockpit before, can you briefly go over a couple of the simple controls and a little bit of what they do?
Sure, absolutely. Well, you know, I can start off by let's look at the yoke. You know, it's a multifaceted yoke. You know, it right here is a trim. This trims the aircraft nose up and nose down, and also right wing down and left wing down. So it's kind of like we call it a China hat. This is the automatic flight control system that is a master release of that auto flight system. So if I release it, all of it, I can push it. You hear the noise. That noise.
HondaJet 55, turn right, heading 090.
090, HondaJet 55. That noise you just heard was a warning to the pilot saying that the system disconnected itself. So if you got your head down, you want to hear that noise, you go, oh, the autopilot disconnected. Now, all those chimes are unique so that you know what they're doing.
5087, roger.
This is a scroll button that we use to go scroll between checklist and
We're
the
on,
map.
5087 is on top
and then we can
of the
scroll
layer
the
now,
checklist.
but, still negative visual
This is a
to the
system
traffic.
control button,
Push 5087,
which
roger.
allows us to,
Clear that traffic.
is a very unique feature with the
Roger,
HondaJet. So if we wanted to adjust all the lights in the airplane, or we wanted to control the temperature, which are the things that we most frequently do while we're flying, I push the system control, and this moves back and forth.
General, just start picking up.
So we can shift between those two features. And the reason we have this is because we can control the interior lighting, we can control the thermostat, we can control the temperature, and also I can go back to my previously set flight. So as I'm moving along, if I want to adjust the temperature, I hit it, the temperature, and then adjust it. This is the autopilot disconnect button. This does the same thing as this one does, except that it keeps the yaw damper engaged.
Contact the Atlantic Center 134.
And then this is control wheel steering, which is basically a fine tuning of the pitch. So I can release that while not disconnecting the entire autopilot, but yet still adjusting the pitch on the airplane. And then back here we have a button called the ident mode, which for ATCs, sometimes if you're taking off and they don't have your radar identified, you hit that ident button and it sends a flashing signal to the radar screen to the controllers, and it says, here I am, here I am.
Oh.
But that's all the control wheel. And then down in through here I've got oxygen supply, oxygen mask for my oxygen mask over here.
And for mine, I hope.
Yep, and for yours. And in case you make me mad, I'll just cut yours off.
Oh, nice, thanks.
And then I can drop the mask back behind us.
Okay.
So if they drop automatically, but if I had emergency like smoke in the aircraft, and we wanted to drop the mask immediately, I could drop the mask to them so they can breathe clean air.
Okay.
And then obviously we would descend and try to land if we had smoke in the airplane.
And not to be weird, but there's no ejection seat in this plane.
No ejection seat at all.
Okay. Because you got parachutes.
Yeah, you got to ride it in.
Right.
And so those are kind of unique features. This is the auto flight system. So if I wanted to do a heading, I could just switch a heading this way, and the aircraft would do it, and I could go back.
How do you know where you're turning? It just seems like you're spinning.
Well, I am. It's just one of those things where you look at this right here. This is the heading.
Okay,
when
so
I
every
switch
time
it, you can see it move.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
And this is this button right here. This is the actual ejection seat. It's called the J seat. It ejects Jason.
That's awesome. Let's not push that.
J seat.
The J seats.
These are fire buttons, so if we have an engine fire, it would light, and then I would lift the cover and I would push it to shut down all the fuel in that engine. And then if we wanted to fire the bottle, there's a suppressant if we were to have a fire.
And obviously we use these at the very beginning just to start the engines, and you start them individually, one and then the other one.
Right.
And then
throttles,
flaps,
speed brakes. So if I wanted to do the speed brake, I pull the throttles less than 55 degrees of throttle angle. I can hit the speed brake. Hear it?
Yeah. Are we slowing down?
Yeah. Look. Yeah. And I can put it back in.
Connect Atlantic Center 120.72.
Oh, you can feel it.
2072.
Not the power.
1182, connect. Legion 664, connect Washington Center 133.57.
Interesting.
13357, Legion 664.
And these are all, this is a fuel system, windshield heat, ice protection systems, and this is a trim system. So in case we have a runaway trim, we have a secondary trim system, because elevator trim is really important to maintain.
What does that do?
Elevator, what it does is it uses one source for elevator trim right here, the primary source.
Okay.
And this, if you press this to pitch mode, you can push that secondary one and gain control of that pitch, because there's nothing worse than having runway pitch trim up, and it makes the control pressure so much force.
Okay.
Because they're aerodynamic force if the pitch trim runs away. So you want to be able to push that real quick and gain control of that through this little button right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so another good thing about the HondaJet is it has what we call rudder bias. So you lose an engine, now you've disrupted that symmetrical power. And now one engine's pushing, the other one let go and goes to zero, so it wants to twist.
Okay.
Okay? It wants to yaw the aircraft. So what this does is it assists you with maintaining directional control by adding rudder to compensate for that yaw.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to me a little bit about what this screen can do.
Right. So right now this is the multi-function display, and as you can see right now, we can see other aircraft in the TCAS mode. Actually, we have TCAS 2 on this airplane, which will not only monitor the aircraft, but will also, if they get too close from closest point of approach, it will actually tell you to either maneuver the aircraft up or down to resolve that conflict. Okay, so this is a multi-function display, which means that we can do multiple things on it. So if I want to split the screen,
42, clear T done.
and I want to keep the map on the right hand side, and then split the screen to like a weather mode. This is in weather mode. I can do multiple things in the weather mode. If I want to go to weather selection, this is provided by XM. I can go to
Did you say like XM radio?
XM. And if I want to tell what the movements of the cells are, I can do this. All these are 2 minutes old. So I can see storms down in Florida, storms up in the New York area. These are the wind patterns.
3163 on 69.
And there's some storms down in the Louisiana, Texas area.
Line of Frontier 740, runway 27.
And this shows our flight
Frontier
path.
740, line of Roger.
That's pretty awesome.
So if I wanted to show something else over here, like if I wanted to show the actual traffic that we're watching, I can select that individually, and you can see the same aircraft come up on this side that I do on this side, except this time it's a pure representation of that traffic.
We talked briefly about how you can change the fuel of where the fuel goes.
My synoptic pages, these are the aircraft systems. So I can check my environmental, or I can move over to your screen. I can do the same thing. I can check the environmental, electrical, fuel system, ice protection, and the hydraulics. So I can change all that.
It's amazing.
And it just takes a while. It's kind of like learning your iPhone, you know. It's all icon driven. The other unique attribute is that it's got a high wing load on it, so it handles turbulence really well. So we're going to do our hydraulics. Here's our fuel, our electrical system. And check all of our synoptic pages.
Lady, Victor Lady.
Want to review a chart again? I can go to charts, go to the airport information chart.
21, traffic.
I can take that chart just like I would with a finger gesture. Open that up.
That's awesome.
And then if I wanted to see that even closer, I could go full chart on that one too. And then I can move it around and see where I'm at.
And this is all Garmin 3000.
Garmin 3000.
That's amazing. And you said the top speed is
422. And that's at flight level 310. But I got the engines pulled back right now because we're just trying to stay within a specific area.
So in some Honda automobiles, they have what's called Easter eggs. They're just like little hidden gems that are in the vehicles or in the computer screens. Did HondaJet put any little hidden gems or little things in here that normally you wouldn't find?
Yeah, we've got recipes for how to make the best brownies ever.
You do not.
United 770, Lehman 330.
You hit the tile called recipes.
Recipes?
The Garmin 3000 does a really great job of customizing all of its attributes to how you want to really kind of operate the system. So for example, you know, if I'm going into an airport, when I'm by myself and I fly single pilot, what I'll do is I'll split the screen up. And what I'll do is I'll have the map over on this side, so I can set the map over on this side. And then what I do is, because I know when I land, I know that we're going to instantaneously transition to the airport environment. So what I will do, I will go to charts, and then I will go to chart again and go to info here. I will hit this button here. I will expand it to my landing runway. And that way I know I'm going to land on 23. And so I'm already set up. I got everything set up. I land, and now I'm set up. I call it my nest. It's kind of like a bird nest. You know, you put everything in its right package. And the Garmin 3000 does a really great job of allowing you to set up your own individual nest. Okay? So I'm coming in, and when I land, I know that I'm going to switch over to my airport directory. The only thing I need to do now is push one button. I don't need to push 4 like I did to get there. I go like this. Boom. And I'm already ready to taxi.
That's what I'm looking for, stuff like that. That's awesome.
That's the kind of stuff that Garmin allows you to do, because and another pilot might like it a different way.
Right.
And so Garmin also does what they call stickies, so that my profile under Tim, I can go to utilities and I can go to crew profile, and you see my name Tim right there. Whenever I have my profile selected, everything I do in here is now stuck. So if I like a certain configuration for map, it sticks to that. So when I shut down the airplane, next time I get in, I push Tim, it goes right back to me. So if Bill gets in here and he doesn't like that, he likes something else, then Bill can do what Bill wants to do. So those really truly are the hidden gems, is that the functionality and the ability to customize to your unique behaviorisms.
What's the furthest you've flown in this?
To China last month.
You flew to China? How many stops did it take, do you remember?
It took 26 hours, I think 9 stops, I can't remember. I think it was 9. Yeah, I think 9. Flew across the Bering Sea into Russia, then down the Russian east coast into Sapporo, Japan.
That is...
And then Sapporo to Shanghai.
Oh my gosh.
Hey?
Imagine 194 kind of.
So when people see this at shows around the world, it's flown there. You don't ship this there. You usually
fly it. Yeah, we fly it. Every bit of it.
That's awesome.
My rear end will tell you, attest to that.
HondaJet 55, contact Greensboro Approach 124.35. Good day.
2435, HondaJet 55. Good day. So we're going to get down here a little bit. We're going to head out to the west, and I'm going to cancel IFR, or instrument flight rules.
Okay.
And then I'm going to let you fly a little bit. Just let you feel exactly what it feels like.
That'd be awesome.
Feel it.
So I want to pull back or push in a little bit? Oh, it's wow.
Yeah, the key for I got a pack on the carbon scanner.
Okay.
Let's get it pitch, the roll, altitude, all the same
No, it's smooth. So what? I feel a little bit of vibration. What happens then?
Well, what happened is
Okay. Oh, okay, got it. Which way? How much do I turn now? I don't care. To bring it back. Whoa. Okay. You want me to let go for right now? Okay.
And then we'll we'll clear ourselves with the traffic, minus, plus, then we'll go right turn. With the left turn, here goes. Boom.
Oh!
I didn't know I was going to do this standing, guys.
Right?
Wow, I can feel it in my butt, like totally in my butt. This is insane. Oh my gosh, the ground is, wow. This is unbelievable. Yeah, when you said you didn't care how much I turned it, that's why. This is, whoa. That's, wow. That's crazy. Can I control it for one more second, or is it too late? So it's 11.6, I want to go down a little bit, right? Oh, I could feel it.
Yeah,
I could, yep, it gets that little, that's, wow. This is insane. I'm flying the HondaJet. Tim, you're amazing. That was awesome. We're gonna land. Let's land, shall we?
Okay, line ourselves up to the runway. And this is like a decelerating and descending. So you're going decel at the same time you're descending.
Okay.
Final flaps. And then I'll trim the aircraft where it's stabilized. Stabilized means I've got my engine spooled up, ready to give me more power if I need it. And I'm on stable airspeed. So this is all about trend analysis. So I'm looking for trend, up, down, forward speed, across horizontally as well as vertically. And feeding the aircraft wheels on the runway at a specific point in space.
969 tower, runway 5 right, clear to land. Clear to land.
Right now I'm going to turn that yaw damper off, push that button.
Got a 539 to 90 Tango tower, hold short of 5 right. Traffic's on about a mile final.
Under that, rolling short of 5 right now.
500.
Very, very small inputs at this point in order to land an airplane. You don't want to over control it. Start looking down the runway. Start feeling power back. And just
on 869, if you could square it off and slow down as much as you're able to have a departure Friday.
Back on the ground at Honda Aircraft in the HondaJet. I'm the HondaPro, and now you're in the know. Here's a fun fact. This exact plane just flew down to Mexico to pick up a customer that bought their own HondaJet. I was there when they took delivery. It was epic. A bunch of employees were there, everybody clapped, we all took pictures. It was, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, it was a little emotional.